Tyler, it's a new approach from a new administration.
Right, John. Well, it's also the latest example of what has become strained transatlantic relations with Washington. And we could see one of the first meetings here in Washington today from these rising tensions when French President Emmanuel Macron visits the White House. President Trump criticized the French president as recently as Friday, calling him a friend, but saying that he's had a seat at the negotiating table when it comes to Ukraine for the last 3 years. Of course, a sentiment that has been met with widespread criticism among our European allies. Now, the French president did preview some of what he might tell President Trump, saying that any concessions to Russia could be viewed as a sign of weakness and that he would tell President Trump, quote, "That is not your trademark style." We also know that he is expected to tie what an emboldened Russia in his terms could mean for an emboldened China, of course, another one of the White House's priorities. But, John, really, this Trump administration looking for firmer European-led security guarantees as well as a boost to NATO defense spending. If we keep on France as the example, of course, France spends about 2% of its GDP when it comes to military spending, a number that this White House would like to see higher.
Tyler, we've seen Emmanuel Macron fail in the past with Trump, trying to keep Trump 1.0 in the Paris Climate Accord, trying to keep Trump 1.0 in the JCPOA when it comes to the Iran nuclear deal. What is his strategy going into this meeting today with the president?
Right, but also, of course, we did see the French president invite President Trump in one of his first visits after he was elected to Paris for the reopening of Notre Dame. We do know that the French president is coordinating closely with his UK counterpart, Keir Starmer, who is also expected to be here in Washington later this week, and that we are expecting the pair to put forward that they are ready to up those security guarantees. You heard in that sound played earlier there that this White House is looking particularly for Ukraine to sign that deal when it comes to an economic cooperation agreement and opening up Ukraine in order to be able to get their critical minerals. That is also something that we are expecting to be discussed this week in Washington as these European allies try to push the Trump administration to give forward some sort of guarantee that they will remain in the region moving forward. It's something that we saw became a big point of contention during the Polish president's visit over the weekend when he met with President Trump on the sidelines of CPAC. He did emerge from that meeting saying that he had a sense that President Trump was not going to pull troops, at least out of Poland, of course, the closest ally to Ukraine's border.